Yep.
What's one hot commodity in a decline?
Man, a few of them, but if you look, the rough rice futures are down dramatically. They were at $24 a few years ago. They're down, so that goes into like food supply. Rashad from Blackout, we may have to talk about your little Instagram post about the
About
warning label.
the cancer?
Scary.
Yeah. Topic
Scary.
first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that other topic that's happening.
Which one?
For oil, that in a country in Africa.
Oh, okay. I thought you was talking about the oil being massaged into his hair.
Nah.
Okay, got you.
Got you. No, not that. You gotta read the warning labels.
Hello. So much I want to say, but yeah.
Read the warning labels.
Mm-hmm. Remember when everybody thought lumber was going to go up forever?
Then the cost of houses, it did rise for a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
But the thing about Trump too is that he's kind of like Kanye. Because remember I said that Elon Musk is like Kanye.
You did.
Trump is actually he has a lot of similarities to Kanye also, because remember they were saying like when Kanye doesn't really read a lot. He receives his information from people around him. That's why he can't really explain things.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump is the same way. Like even if you're watching him yesterday, like he doubled down. You would think by now, the first time he got asked the question, he had time to research who the Binance founder was.
Oh, yeah.
He just doubled down. He said, I don't know who he is.
He said, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know.
But so this goes back to Venezuela, Nigeria, a variety of different things. You could tell that people are telling him things.
Yeah.
Talking. They're telling him high level talking points
that morning briefing.
That he can remember, that is easy to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask him like detailed questions, he has no idea how to actually respond on it. So he's good at spinning it as far as like brushing it off, deflecting, insulting people.
Mm-hmm.
But he's getting fed a lot of information in very short sound bites.
Here's the time
that he has actually no idea what he's talking about.
How much do you believe him? Like, do you feel
I believe him a lot.
Because when I heard the response, like I didn't think he was going to double down. He actually tripled down and said, "I'm gonna break some news here. I don't know who he is." But then the very next line, I believe, was when they asked about Bitcoin, and he said he's not familiar with it. And then they brought up the fact of his family's firm has made billions in Bitcoin. It was kind of like,
I believe him a lot. He's 80 years old.
I don't know how much of that is. I feel like was true.
I think it's a high level as far as like, I think he understands what nodes are and the inner workings of the blockchain? No, I don't think so.
I don't think that.
I don't think so at all. I think he knows enough to have people in position. Because the guy's busy, right? He's running a country. He's doing real estate. He's running. So it is understandable not to be extremely knowledgeable in a variety of different things. And I don't think he's knowledgeable on a lot of stuff, because you could just tell. You could just tell that he's not knowledgeable. But he, like I said, he does a good job at spinning things off. And even when he was like, they came at me, they said that I was, and the reporter actually did a terrible job at countering that, because even if you have a low level of education, he was convicted of 36 felonies. You did get found guilty. You literally on federal wiretap trying to rig an election. But the way that he was just able to spin it, like they tried to frame me, and I was completely innocent, and I got off. I'm like, how did you get off when you got convicted of 36 felonies?
30. I think it's 34. But I don't know how it was edited, but I agree with you there. I'm like, wait, no, there's a difference here. You were convicted. I think that, and it might be a strategic way
for his own protection.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. When I heard him say that, I'm like, oh,
that was the first thing I thought.
If I deny that I know anything about this, like, look, I'm on record. I don't know. We're making $8 billion, but I'm not really sure what's happening over there. I mean, right? It's like almost like, oh, that was he just protected himself by saying that.
I don't even think he's worrying about protecting himself. He's the same guy that said I can go to Times Square and shoot somebody in the face and get away. That was last administration.
That was last time.
I mean, everything that he's done so far, I'm pretty sure he has very little care about protecting himself, because
he's built the protection around him.
There's no consequences. There's not. Who's gonna tell him you're in trouble?
Nobody, because he put them in.
It's impossible
for now. No, I'm saying for now, right? But his kids will outlive him, right? And so, like, could there be charges that are brought allegedly? I'm not saying that they're doing anything fraudulent, but could there be charges in 6 years or 8 years, right? If they find something, I think that was like one of those protective measures. That's just how I perceived it.
And all I know is whatever you did with CZ, you better not do with SBF. It's not gonna go the same way. He's up on that
He's
council
next?
part.
He got 30 years.
It would look crazy. But what do I know? What do I know? Gotta love investing though. Greatest game on earth.
I think it's interesting, right? Like the guy who creates a crypto czar says he knows nothing about Bitcoin.
But that's David Sachs. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't.
But the position was created.
Him saying that he knows nothing about Bitcoin might not be a lie. It might not be a lie. But because relatively speaking, you can. I mean, nothing is a vague term, right?
Yeah.
I think he knows enough to know what Bitcoin is. But if he had like there was a Bitcoin quiz, I think he would fail. But I think most people invested in Bitcoin would fail a Bitcoin quiz. Most people don't really know what Bitcoin is. That's the scary part about it.
The answer to the quiz.
We don't even know the founder. Like
Hal Finney.
There's so much stuff about this
the CIA,
asset.
but y'all
like if you had like a pop quiz on it, most people that's investing in Bitcoin would fail a Bitcoin quiz.
I'm not even disagreeing with that. I'm just saying there's something about being, I don't even want to call it dumb, so smart that you're dumb, right? You're investing in the asset. Like you're currently
I'm gonna say the real answer to the quiz is to deploy capital.
Right. Like
you can know all that shit and
you're benefiting from it.
And it's like knowing the most and deploying the least does not make you a winner. Can you take off for 5 years?
If somebody says right now, look, we got, silver mine in Mexico and it's guaranteed to go up 87% every single year. I do a presentation. You got $1 billion. You're gonna. This I know for a fact because I used to be a financial advisor. So I understand that most wealthy people are not fully educated on money.
At all.
That's why they trust their advisors. That's why they have a financial advisor. That's why somebody like Bernie Madoff could run the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world.
Mankind.
These are not just stupid people. These are educated people. These are owners of sports teams. These are billionaires. They didn't ask enough questions because they're trusting this person. Like, it's like, look, I got to run a sports team. I got to do this. I got to have a legal firm. You can't be an expert in everything simultaneously.
It's tough. Yeah.
That's why you have trusted advisors around you and you're trusting their advice. The problem is that the people that he has around him are giving him advice based off of their own personal interest.
That's part of it. I agree with you. That's part of it. But there's also the part where you're actually creating positions, changing policy, changing legislation to make sure that this asset thrives.
It's the money. If they come in and say, look, we got everybody here, we all gonna make $1 billion.
Your son,
we all gonna make $1 billion, including yourself. You give us the money. This is how it's gonna work. All we need you to
do they deliver it.
All we need you to do is push it through.
Push it.
I'm not gonna ask 1,000,001 questions.
Yes, you would personally.
I'm just saying, as the average person, right? The average person is just like, all right, these are my friends. They're all rich. We have a trust. We've made money together before. I understand enough to understand the play. All right, I'm pushing it through.
Yeah, I'm saying, but there's an understanding there.
But I mean, George Bush went to war and didn't even understand what he was doing.
Yeah, it was extremely.
They made him go to war off of misinformation. He didn't. Like literally the longest war in United States history. Yeah. And they had a 5-star general get in front of the United Nations and completely lie. So,
but I think
how far deep the rabbit hole do you want to go?
I said, no, I agree. I'm saying that is true, which is why I think it's like, I'm going to say I know nothing to protect myself, even though I have an understanding. If this goes right or wrong,
I think that's true.
If it goes right or wrong, I don't know nothing.
Yeah, I'm not saying with Bitcoin, but with CZ, I think he's, and who knows, Jake, 1090 Jake, go pull up CZ paperwork and see what.
Yeah, because that would, even with Binance, I mean, maybe that's another
stop,
but like that. All right. Because I had Binance before there was a US Binance, and I'm like, yo, what? Huh? That another time.